And good morning, boys and girls in TV land. Welcome to another Jedi Academy. What the hell is Jedi Academy, you say? That is where it's a Q&A show for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, where we bring the best and brightest of YouTubers, game changers, and the works, and we sprinkle in a little bit of mental damage from RSG, and we get a Q&A show. How does it work? Well, this is a Q&A show, and all you need to do is, if you would like a question answered by our wonderful esteemed panel, then all you need to do is put in the chat a question. Make sure it is in the form of a question. The easiest way is just to put question in front of your statement, your question, and we will scoop it up. I am on double duty again this week because Dr. Finn is out. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's having a poor convention. Who knows? But if you have questions, go ahead and get those in, and we will get those scooped up, and we will get those answered. We'll spend the next couple hours doing that, and we'll have one of our panel answer all those questions and give you our insight on what it all means. That being said, let's introduce the panel. First of all, he's been with us all week. He's the Stoner Jedi. Xylo Takedowns here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
We also have from up north in Canada 8, drinking maple syrup and being a communist, T Money G.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. From the Alliance, we have the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Raymond is here.
How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? And, of course, last but not least, I don't know if he's back yet. I think he had to go run to the bathroom. But, Sir Loki.
I'm back.
Oh, there you go.
I'm good.
All right. Right. That's what I'm talking about. So go ahead and get your questions in. I will scoop them up, and then we'll get to them as quickly as we can. So, been a crazy week. Sunday, we just want to do another special thanks. We didn't have a Jedi Academy last week or a mature show last week because we were prepping for our incredibly long but very well worth it suicide prevention charity, where we raised over $10,000 for the charity. I can't thank you guys enough for that, and for the people in here that helped make that a possibility. If you did win something, then the emails and stuff have been going out, so that stuff will be getting to you guys if it hasn't already arrived to you. All those prizes will be there very soon. So we just want to say a special thank you to all you guys for all your help and support. We really appreciate it. No, Corey Delmar, we're not playing Sims. God damn it. Jedi Academy. Just Jedi stuff. It's not Sim stuff. Then what else happened this week? Just a lot of updates and stuff. I unlocked Treya. And then I realized that I had all the gear except the damn droid collars. And so now I'm trying to farm those stupid things.
You didn't have the droid collars? She needs like 4.
I know. For some reason, I was just like, I farmed everything else. I'm like, oh, I forgot the damn droid collars. Aww. So she's geared 9, almost 10. I just need one droid collar for that. But when they pop in the store, I get them. I can't do anything else because they ain't dropping in the goddamn raids. I can tell you that much, because I've never seen, hardly ever gotten a droid collar out of the raids. It's ridiculous, you know. For characters to need droid collars as much as they do, that's the one piece of gear that is a pain in the ass to get at a gear or farm, because it's hardly ever there. I don't know. So that's been my week. How's everybody else been doing?
I've been good. It's been a good week, slow week, I think. Yeah, I missed streaming last Saturday, so I'm happy to be here today. Had a Territory Wars last week and finished our TB, and yeah, ready for another one. It's weird to have that break in between, hey?
Yeah, we just missed 47 on our dark side. How did you guys do, T-Money?
Yeah, I think we weren't paying too much attention because we weren't going to make it, but we're about, with Perfect Battles, we're about 500k short of 47.
Ours was much closer, but it's pretty hard to start. We were like, oh, we're right there. Son of a... We should get it next time it comes around. You were there, Xylo. We're like, oh, damn, right there.
It was great, though. And I mean, right after that TB, I 7-starred Wampa and put both the bayonets on him. He's got his Zeta and everything, good to go, man. He's hitting like a truck, and using him in that P2 team in the Sith raid. And if I can get top 10 in the Sith raid on Sunday, and I'll be unlocking Treya too myself, man. I can't wait.
Yep. And then let's see, we had Territory Wars. So how did your first Territory War go, T-Money?
It was good. It was intense, but it was really good.
Did you win?
We're up against. Oh, pardon me. Sorry.
Yes.
We're up against an Australian guild this time.
Boy.
And we had a really, really close battle with them the last time we faced them. So I'm looking forward to that today.
All right. And then what about you, Riemann?
Well, we fared well in our last territory war, but we got like a really low GP guild, so it was kind of unfair.
Yeah.
What do you guys have planned for the 4th?
I don't really have planned anything other than we will have a stream that night. So, but we're not going to have a lunch.
You guys partying for the 4th up in Canada?
No.
Totally should.
Well, we have our own little holiday called Canada Day on July the 1st, so that's where we throw down.
Well,
lots of fireworks and craziness. I don't think we treat it kind of with the reverence that that the U.S. treats their July 4th. Like, I think it's a little bit more like it's like, what are you doing that night? You have to be doing something special. Like July 1st is just like, there's fireworks and gatherings and lots of stuff, lots of parties.
You should totally start the fad. Just bring it there. Be the one. Celebrate the 4th of July in Canada.
We're still hungover from the 1st, though, Ramon. So it's hard to get people motivated.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So Loki, how are things going in your guild? Territory battles, territory wars, beating the Wallet Warriors.
It was good, man. I mean, we lost our first one, our first territory war, so we're just getting ready for the second one to rebound. And
who are we facing?
The first one we actually faced TI Delta, so we cleared each other's maps, and unfortunately the score came into play, and they were super efficient, so they beat us. And then second one, I think it's a mismatch. We got paired up, I think, with Hexagon Omega, so it's the matchmaking just isn't right. I think we're like 19 mil favorites, so it's not. I guess it's working as intended, but yeah, it is what it is.
And then I know us and MC, we won our first one. I think how much was the GP difference in our first one, Stoner?
Oh, it was a 10 mil difference. Yeah, we still won by like 4K.
Yeah, so.
And then we got blessed this time 4K?
Around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a good match.
It was a really good match. I think it was against BHG Reloaded. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% though, to be honest.
I think that's who it was. All right, so if you go ahead and get your questions in, guys, we will rock and roll. Not a lot of news from CG this week. I mean, there's been some stuff. We got some rewards yesterday for the boo-boos that have been going on in territory battles. So we got the territory wars today going into tomorrow, and then we've got the light side territory battles coming back. Should be getting a roadmap here next week of things to look forward to. So that'll be interesting to see, so we'll wait for that. But other than that, not a lot of news to report on, so go ahead and get your questions in. We'll try to answer them best we can. Warrior's not here yet, so if there's any questions for Warrior, he's not here to answer them, so we'll try to answer them the best we can. Let's see here. I'll save that one for War. We do have a question for Riemann first, so we'll go ahead and get that in there. Nathaniel Miller, question for Riemann. Will you please forgive me for suggesting the Zeta Bodhi? I promise. All I did was look at the least Zeta tune on GG, except the solo ones.
No, it's fine, man. I mean, I was actually going to talk to you about that today and see. We did accomplish that, so I have to record that and just put that on maybe on one of your RSG streams. You can just get a recording of me doing it.
Doing what?
Zetaing my Bodhi. I saved the Zeta. I haven't done it yet, but I have to Zeta Bodhi.
Yeah, just record it, send it to us, and then we'll do a little funny video with it. That's all you gotta do, brother.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah, we'll play it.
But that's fair. No, it was for a good cause, and my Bodhi will be better because of it, and I will love him.
Well, the phase 3 of the Sith raid will come in handy. Let's see here. Question for T Money G. See, Nathaniel Morgan says, question: did T Money G actually do her combat missions?
I don't know what he's talking about. Do we have a TB going on right now? Because I'm quickly logging into my game to see if
I think he meant. I think he meant last one, maybe.
For us missing the stars. Let me think. I think maybe that I didn't. I mean, I did, but then people deployed more than needed to be deployed in the zone, so I got locked and I couldn't, because I always do mine late. I always do mine in the morning, and it's just, I don't know, often TB lands on a Saturday night. I'm totally lying. I don't know if that's the case, but I just like to do them in the morning, and I don't like to do them before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Slacking.
It's truth. Yeah, I like to have perfect missions.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get them because I get them in so late that I'm at the very bottom of the ranks all the time. But the missions that I do, they are perfect.
All right, next question. This is from Michael STRNAND Shranad.
Strad.
Well, it's not Strand because he switched it, but it's Shranad. Stranad. Road. Okay.
Maybe the S, the T, and the R are silent. You don't pronounce them.
Stoner Jedi. His question is: anybody running into Grandmaster Yoda in Arena, and how do they do on D?
No, I haven't even seen it.
I have. It's an easy win.
Yeah, I mean, even if I did see it, it doesn't hold on defense, and we learned that right away. So that answers that.
It's an easy win. I don't know why people are running this.
Yeah. And the worst part is like people try to squeeze Hermit Yoda in there, and Hermit Yoda being the 5th in any arena team, it just kind of gives you your own handicap. So that, and then the Zeta, like investing 40 Zetas into Grandmaster Yoda right now, just
it's not worth it, man.
No,
I mean, look, have you seen anything like GMY in your shard?
Looking right now, I know there were people playing with it, like they were doing the GMY with Hermit Yoda and then the Triumvirate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I faced. I was like, thanks for the win.
Yeah, it's I don't know. They didn't do that rework. I mean, what they nerfed him, they reworked him twice, and they just can't get it right. So
yeah, and then I saw one where it was with the Rex team, Rex, Wampa, GMY, something like that. And again, I was like, thanks for the win.
Yeah, it's not for arena. It's probably for territory wars. And that's what they're doing.
Fine,
so
which is fine.
Yeah,
but I just don't know why people are running it there.
Well, I could see if you're getting to like the final wall of the territory wars, and you have to face up against the Grandmaster Yoda team, and you have like a depleted roster at this point. You might get wiped out if you don't have a good team.
Yeah, or like an alternate team for P1 in the Sith raid. And I mean, if you have Jedi fully maxed out, they at least need to be back in 11 at gear 11 or top of gear 12.
I think they're an offensive team too, right? I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can you get climb with everything these days, and you can certainly climb with Grandmaster Yoda. So
I don't even think they're that great on offense. I mean, from the people I've talked to on GMY, because there's some people. I mean, this all stems from our good friend Cubs, who ran that video, right? Saying that it could beat the meta teams, possibly, but I haven't seen it yet. And the people I've talked to, it's like, no. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure on offense maybe it could be good for climbing, but I definitely would not leave that damn thing on defense because you're just asking to drop, man.
Well, from testing testing maxed out, meta teams, I can tell you that for sure it can beat the meta teams right now. It's not going to beat tomorrow's meta with Darth Traya, but it can beat a Palpatine team.
Oh, sure.
And all those. So you can collide with the Grandmaster Yoda team, but like I said, I mean, if it's not going to hold on defense, and it's not going to be it's not going to be it's not going to be a meta for very long, because like I said, once you see more Traya popping into the arena, she kind of nullifies him pretty well, because once you're talking about once you start sticking isolate like on General Kenobi, and now you're dealing with like Sion taunting and maybe like Sith Trooper taunting, it becomes like a real problem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not doing enough damage, and there's nobody that ignores taunt to like just go for Traya or so you're gonna need some alternatives there. So I mean, like right now, like in the current meta, like where you're seeing a lot of
EP leads with Nihilus and stuff. You could beat a Rey Jedi training team. You could beat a Palpatine team. But you're not going to beat like a full 7-star Darth Traya team. That I tested that and I tried to figure out a way to make a video about her about Yoda beating a Traya team. I just couldn't do it. I mean, so yeah.
Yeah, maybe I didn't test enough. Maybe I needed to do more testing. But I feel like it wasn't worth the effort. And even if I did accomplish it, it would have been like a lucky thing. It wouldn't have been like I wouldn't have been able to duplicate those results. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not really being honest.
Well, and we've been getting a lot of questions about which Zeta should I put on my Grandmaster Yoda first. I'm like, don't put any on him. Are you crazy? I mean, unless you have like 60 or 70 Zetas and you have nothing else to put it on, yeah, go for it. But if you're an up-and-comer and you're looking for a team, especially for PvP, I mean, where the money's at is Traya, right? I just unlocked her. I'm gearing her up. She's going in. I already put the Zeta on her, and, it's going to be the Sith Triumvirate I just went completely blank on who I'm running. EP lead and Sith Trooper. That'll be my team, and I'm not going to worry about it, but
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with putting a Zeta on Yoda. I mean, I think he's still going to be cool. I mean,
he's good. He's good. I think.
I think that ultimately, I mean, like, if you're in the situation you're talking about, like if you already have like a bunch of Zetas, and you're good, and this is just like an extra Zeta, yeah, then do it. But I mean, like, you're definitely better off Zetaing a 5-star Traya than you are Zetaing a 7-star Yoda.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
right. And there's plenty of other Zetas in the game that you could probably do over Yoda right now. Depending on where you're at with your Zetas. And I mean, like, I have 21 Zetas, and there's still plenty more you can put on. And just showing like right there in the test account that it takes so much time to make some content on them climbing on offense. It just shows that it's not worth investing 40 Zetas right now, because there's a lot of pieces still missing around him.
It's I'm telling you, don't do it, guys. You're just setting yourself up, especially on defense. On that question on D, it does not hold. I'm telling you, because even a Palp team can beat that team because the AI doesn't use it right. I mean, I've seen the AI do some stuff. It's like, okay, well, Sion just went. There goes all your buffs. Now you lose. It's just like it's really bad. Oh God, Stoner Jedi. Question from Revenator. Thoughts on HK47 as a login character for July?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like really excited and think it's like something for Revan, but I think Revan's still a little bits away. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I think this is hinting more towards like that droid rework, and maybe like kind of building towards this big separatist Galactic Republic rework, and maybe a new Geonosis territory battles like we've been talking about the last couple weeks, and all this new content that we're hoping for in a few months.
And the reason we're saying that, guys, is that Battlefront 2 yesterday actually put out their for the month. They put out their plan for the next several months, right? Geonosis is coming. A whole bunch of stuff is coming. The new heroes are coming, and basically what we have speculated, since everything's been tied in together with both games, for what those games offer. Like, for instance, you got the new skin for Lando, and you got the new character for Lando and Galaxy Heroes, right? You got the new skin for the new Han in Battlefront, and you got the new Han in game. Same thing with Vandor Chewie. They are definitely going to be reworking some stuff here. I think they're going to rework droids. They're going to rework Grievous and Separatist. And I think we're going to get a new territory battle. And it's going to be probably August. I'm assuming this is going to happen. August or September, they'll launch a new territory battle with Geonosis in sync with them launching the new epic maps and stuff for Geonosis and Battlefront 2. That's just what we're speculating.
Yeah.
It seems all kind of tied in together.
Mm-hmm. And then another way to look at it from an outside perspective, like this whole first half of the year has basically been, Old Republic material, other than the ship's PvE table, with the Sith raid and Sion and the Triumvirate and everybody making such a big appearance and effect in the game. So they're possibly they could rework HK-47 and give him some more tags like we've been talking about in the past.
Sure.
And, rework his abilities, and then tie that into Grievous's rework, and give them a little bit more time to do what they got to do to make Grievous good. Yeah. So it's a perfect way to tie it in with a droid rework and HK-47 getting his rework, and then leading into the new droids.
Now, one thing about Grievous is he's not really tied to the Galactic Republic, the Clone Wars, right? He's tied into the Old Republic. That makes me think possibly that we could be getting Revan soon. I'm just saying. We haven't had a Dark Side legendary character. I think that's going to be Revan, and I think this is the beginning of anybody who doesn't have HK-47, because he's going to be one of those pieces you need for however they're going to do it. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because I'm not opposed to it at all. Either the Grievous rework or Revan coming to the game, both of them are really exciting. Just to even theory craft about it right now and have it up in the air. It's a really exciting point in the game, and this year's already been great. So I can't wait to see what they do next with it.
Yeah. Anybody else on any of that stuff?
Revan's gonna be marquee character, man. $10,000.
No, he's gonna be legendary, brother.
Revan's gonna be the only pack that costs $399.99.
Oh, I think they're going to make their money in other ways. They're going to introduce some new characters for that are going to be marquee. I guarantee that you're going to probably need to. This is just what I'm seeing at the beginning of the of the journey that will be Darth Lord Revan.
Yeah, why make Revan marquee when you can make the 5 characters you need to get him?
Yeah.
The first ever 10,000 crystal pull.
Yeah.
It's gonna be you'll get 4 shards.
Yeah, I think that legendary character, they want everybody to try to have a chance to get him, but to get him, you're going to need all these characters to get him, which is fine by me. I'll be more than glad to pony up some money for that. It's Lord Revan, our savior. Oh. All right, go ahead and get your questions in, guys. We have a question here for Warrior. I'll throw this out to the panel. Warrior, I don't think he's going to be able to make it. I'm not sure where he's at. So, Corey Delmar had a question for Warrior, and it's we'll start with you, Team Money. We can kind of speculate on this. It says, have you ever talked to the devs about how much time people spend in game and how much money they spend? Like, in a negative sense. Like, all consuming it can potentially be destructive. I don't know if Warrior... I'm sure he's had those conversations. What do you guys think of this question, its overall general theme? Do you think this is something that needs to be addressed with CG?
We've totally had these conversations with them before about how much time people are spending in the
game. There you go. We got a game change right here. Remon, go for it, brother.
Oh, I'm just saying, I know that Warrior and I have both had these conversations with the developers. So, I'm just saying that it's been a situation where, yeah, of course, there's a lot of time being spent in the game right now. for the better or worse, whether you enjoy that or you're not cool with that, it does affect all the different players differently. I mean, some people have been playing this game at a casual level now for a while, and for some of the elder players that have been playing for a long time, they don't necessarily, I don't have the time, I guess, to dedicate all the time that's necessary sometimes to do all the things that happen in a day. Now, I know you're talking also about financially, but financially, you're not going to really get into that kind of discussion with EA because, listen, ultimately they have to make money for this game to continue on. So, honestly, there's always going to be that element where they have to, kind of try to figure out a way to get you to spend money impulsively, right? So that's whether it's through throwing packs at you last minute that kind of entice you to buy them, or giving you flash deals and things like that. Those are always going to be a part of any mobile game. It's not just EA. I mean, every mobile game does that. But no, as far as time being spent in the game, that's actually a pretty valid concern, because there are people that get burnt out by playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, or having to be inside Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, let's say for a couple hours a day, because there's territory battles and territory wars and galactic war and PvP for characters, PvP for ships. You have your dailies that you have to do. You have to do your coins. You have to if you're an officer in a guild, you have so much stuff you have to do. So there's so much time that has to be spent in the game right now, and that's obviously definitely a concern for some of the player base and also for the devs. So we've brought that up on multiple occasions, and that's why they're doing certain things like giving you the ability to sim your galactic war, or giving you the ability to sim some of these battles, but with the events that are out there and all the stuff you have to do on a daily basis, it can still be a lot. So, I mean, there's definitely not, the answer isn't there yet. I mean, I'm sure they'll, try to think of some different things because they have to. But as of right now, that's pretty much where it's at. I mean, it's definitely on the table. Like, they definitely know that there's a burnout factor from having to play the game too much. And having too many responsibilities, but it's something that they have to figure out a good idea for. And there's only so many things you can sim in the game. I mean, they're not going to let you sim. Maybe one day they'll let you sim raids. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day they'll be able to sim a Rancor raid or something like that. But that's almost at the point where you can auto that in 15 minutes anyway. You know what I mean? So somebody's going to want to do that,
right?
It's a little bit different for every guild. I mean, some guilds are newer, some players are newer, and still. Got that, they're still interested in doing all that early game content. But for somebody who's done, like 1,000 Rancor raids, give them a sim button.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. It's definitely concerned because, I mean, like I said, especially if they add more stuff.
Whoa, Raymond, you're going roboto on us.
Okay, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, so if they add like another. Let's say they add another raid or something down the road, it could become too much. So they have to think about that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Next question for T Money G from Fat 2099. Question: in what order do I mega first order? I have crew done and both specials on first order officer done so far.
Oh damn! That's like a question that you got to come back to me in 10 minutes, and I can tell you the exact.
No, you should know now.
I'm going to my first order right now.
Drink your coffee with your maple syrup and get on it.
I will. Do you want to come back to me in 2 minutes?
No, just research it now. You're supposed to know this stuff, T-Money. You're the expert.
Oh no, I have ADD. I can't remember.
I don't even know what that. I don't even know how that correlates
what
to.
Does he have? What does he have again?
Well, he says he has crew done and both specials on first order officer done so far. He's talking about what order do I mega first order?
Yeah. So, who else is in the team? He doesn't say. It
doesn't, but I mean, if we're considering like if it's going to be crew, first order officer, then we're going to assume that we're going to run. If we're doing first order,
I'm hoping Kylo Ren, OG Kylo Ren, is in there because he needs to be in there. He's the engine of that machine.
Stormtrooper.
I would give him everything that he wants.
Sure.
But if you do have first order executioner, he's got some really important ones with regards to damage.
Oh yeah.
He's got his death sentence is 30% additional damage, and then his basic is plus 50% damage, and if the target is debuffed, it's a guaranteed critical hit, and he gets advantage back, which is important for his to feed the turn meter engine, and also to keep him to keep everybody else critting on his next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the First Order Executioner bonus offense equal to 5% of his max health done.
I do.
That is more. Do you? Yeah, I say that is more of a raid thing. I'm very, very careful with my Omegas. And then I don't know if you have First Order TIE Pilot. I do have him done, and he's got everything. He's got some damage-based ones, which make a big difference. 50% damage on both of his basic and his special, and then a critical chance one. So, I would say, focus on your damage dealers, because that's going to bring the most pain, literally, and then anything that's increasing the chance for a critical hit, you can also look at that as like as feeding turn meter to the team. So those anytime you have a turn meter Zeta, a turn meter Omega, it's so important to have that, and the team isn't going to be working, it's not going to be as fast without it, which is very important.
All right.
And Team Money has a First Order TIE Fighter Pilot Zeta too.
I do. I love it. My First Order team always holds.
Oh yeah, mine does too. Once you get them maxed out with Zetas and stuff, Christ in heaven. Yeah. I mean, I get 6 wins on defense all the time. It's
Me and V always talk about First Order and Sith Raid, and he says that his regular TIE Fighter pilot for First Order does some pretty good damage in the raids. So.
Yeah, I don't use mine on there. Mine is straight up Executioner, so I just go Son chop and everything. It's ridiculous. It's just constantly just assisting with him. It's like the Son just goes in there and just lays Scunion. It's beautiful. I don't even try to get 1 million damage. It's like okay, good. Right. Okay, there I go. I mean, it's not hard to get good damage with that team. And phase 2, so
First Order is just fun all around. I mean, they're a great team, great mechanics. So,
all right. Next question for Sir Loki from Contingent 33 question: with Traya out, how likely do you think Kreia would come?
No, she might come with Revan, right? She's gonna be the character. I don't know. Would they do something like that? Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. They can reskin Visas and make it look like her, so I don't see why not.
Yeah, she's canon too, right? So.
No, none of the old Republic stuff is canon. None of those characters are canon.
It's SWGOH canon, so we're good. It's already been done, so yeah. I mean, why? I mean, they have to build the team, like Riemann just mentioned. It's going to be like the $1 million team when it comes out. So
yeah,
they've been. I mean, that's what they've been doing with all the new characters. They always release them in they either release like one character that's all by itself with like no factions, or they release a group of characters that are, that are all factions. So maybe Visas was maybe the stepping stone, and then now they're going to do the big, 5 deep Old Republic team,
Yeah, I like it. Zylo, next question, Kurtman. Question: does potency effect abilities to be triggered? Example: GK's chance to apply foresight on his basic.
Well, I mean, that just basically comes down to like the potency tenacity check, right? And I mean, potency overlaps tenacity all the time. I mean, no matter what mod you have, I mean.
Well, I think it's affected abilities to be triggered, so not them hitting something, but like foresight.
Debuffs, right? Potency's debuffs.
Right. I don't think it has anything to do with anything like them applying foresight, on their basics and stuff. I think that's just RNG, but I don't know what stat would. I mean, when you read something like that, right? Where it says you have a chance to do such and such, I think it's just I don't know what triggers him doing that. I don't know if it's automatic either.
Bug?
I don't know. It says he does it.
I'm not sure. I couldn't answer that one fully, to be honest.
Well, I'm looking at GK right now. Let me look at them because I'm actually curious.
There's a super secret little part of SWGOH.gg that I found the other day that I don't think it's actually on the main menu. And it goes into each of the abilities and the programming behind each. So that, for instance, is where the data around Nest's protection. We made a video on Nest's protection. Part of the video is Nest's protection being based off of her health pool, and that's where that data is. And I think it's in beta form right now, but I can't ever find it. But I'll find it and I'll post it in the chat. And it's very cool. It's like super nerdy. It just comes like you click on one of the ability. Like when it goes from one ability level to the next, and it just pops up with all this math.
Yeah.
Huh. That sounds really interesting, actually.
From what I gather, yeah, it's RNG. It's a 65% chance, so it's. It doesn't say. I don't know what it's linked to the trigger, other than just the percentage chance you have for it to hit. So I can't really say for sure, like, what would trigger it better. I mean, it's a 65% chance, so it's better than 50.
Yeah.
It's 1 in almost 7 out of 10 you'll get it. So, but I'm not. Still looking here. Yeah, I don't. It's not. I don't know what would be linked to that.
Yeah.
All right. So, who's clicking in the background?
Me. I'm furiously clicking.
Why are you clicking?
Because fine, I'll mute myself.
What? Alright. Let's see. That question was to Xylo. Let's see here. Back to the top. Remon, War Goal 128 question. Do you think there's a possibility of a tune coming out that could flat out solo HSTR, and so what would it look like? So, solo heroic Sith raid, hey?
Well, I mean, I think we're far away from that.
Yeah.
But honestly, yes. I mean, I do think eventually it'll happen. I think. Damn it. I think that the main thing you're going to have to look for is, to find some mechanic that can hold them back. The problem is that there's no real you can't really use termine reduction in all the phases of the raid. So I think that the days of soloing a whole raid is going to be. There's a team that can solo a whole heroic AAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the team that does that?
Oh, I don't.
There's a few different ones. There's like the Vader lead with Wampa, BB-8, Thrawn, and CLS, and then there's the Akbar lead, BB-8, Hermit Yoda, CLS, and Wampa.
Ezra.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wampa.
So there you go. No, there's there you go.
But the weird thing is, I mean, with the Sith raid, they even said it from the beginning of the release. This is a raid that's intended to not be soloed, and that they're trying to move past that and make it a group effort. And even though like Mighty Chlorian's top guilds in the game, it's just because it's on farm, it still takes effort, and you still have to put your pieces in there, and you have teams that can do 10-12% in each phase, certain phases of the game, and it's a group effort. And even future raids, I don't see it ever being something you can solo from this point, from the heroic Sith and any other future raids.
I think the only way that that's going to happen is if they introduce, like, first of all, we'll have a level cap increase where like our damage is higher and things like that. And then they'll have a new character that's brought to the game that has a new mechanic that can kind of like disable Treya or one of these characters in the game. And if that ever comes, like if they ever create a character that has like a special new mechanic, then there's a chance there. But I don't think with any characters that are in the game right now, unless they get reworked, that's going to happen.
Oh, like for example, I think it's even funnier to always compare the two, but like Marvel Strike Force, for example, the top tier raids, the people that are even beta players have a hard time doing the top tier raids in Marvel Strike Force, right? And they're kind of covering themselves by doing that, for example, with raid mechanics. And the Sith raid, it's you still have to have maxed out teams with all the Zetas and the right mods, and not everybody has those even in the top tier guilds for each phase, and now it's at the point where it's not only a race for damage output, but for what rank you're going to get, and trying to go from placing in the top 20 to trying to place in the top 10 when people are already doing that for a couple months, and like me, for example, I've been in MC2 for a little over 2 months now, and ever since I joined, I've been in the top 20 and placed 11th and 12th place a few times, but never gotten into the top 10 that one time. And now that I've worked on certain teams to build up my damage output a little more, maybe I'll be able to hit it around and start farming more of this back gear 12 pieces. And now it's just getting your teams and your rosters together to the point where you'll have the right teams for future raids too, even. So it's a lot to build into.
All right, next question is kind of for everybody. What are you guys currently working on? This is from Michael Stranad. Treya gear. I'm farming Super Pooper Trooper Commando for my crew just because I can, to finish him to 7 stars. Then I'm going to go work on Sith Marauder, and then I'm not farming characters anywhere else. It's all gear. Guild store, both of them gear. Arena, it's prestige I'm working on those 10 at a time. GW, I just use that for shard shop currency. I have nothing in ship arena to farm other than Zetas. So really, the only characters that I'm farming are hard nodes, right? Sion, I'm doing that in the fleet one, and then Wicket, Zombie, and then Super Pooper Trooper. Those are actually characters that I'm actually farming. What about anybody else?
Yeah, I'm working on Empire right now. I'm trying to get, I guess it would be 4 Empire Sith teams, Treya team, EP team, Bangma Trooper team, and a Imperial Trooper team. And I'm just trying to like tweak it around so that I don't need to farm Storm. I really do need another tank, but I just don't want to go down that road right now. So I'm a piece away from Krennic, and so I'm gonna finish him. He was not that hard of a gear. I don't remember from up to 10, but from 10 to 11 it wasn't that bad. So I'm gonna try to make a team with him. I just got Range Trooper to gear 11, just 4 stars, but he's so fun. Yeah, stompy Retribution fun madness. So I like that. I like that team a lot. And then my focus has been ships. I'm down to like 30-40 second ships battles, as long as I'm not facing something too tanky, like First Order sometimes gets me. But usually I can beat them without any reinforcements being called, and from farming my geos. So that was great, but now I need to put them to work somewhere. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm farming Newt and trying to do a Geonosian spy Newt Night Sister Acolyte team. So we've got some BC teams kind of in the works to shore up my Territory Wars offense.
All right. Anybody else?
I'm actually the same as T Money right now, so I'm doing all my pilots. My fleet right now is the same. I'm running the Geonosians. It's killer. There's nothing. I mean, it's ships has become, if you can do the 30-40 second battle on offense, I think you're good. Leave it for defense and see what it does. Yeah, I've been really happy with them, and I'm just working on, I think, the reinforcement bonuses now of like all my ships.
Yeah, so I'm doing the same.
I finished up Phantom, doing Plo Koon next, and then I I finished Millennium Falcon is actually the first one I did, so I bit the bullet and struggled up until ship 2.0 and just went balls out with Millennium Falcon. I think that ship alone, you can go 1v5 and that thing coming off the bench, it retributions the whole team to death. So it's like one of the best ships to come off the bench. Same with Phantom.
Sorry to interrupt, Sir Loki. The new one or the old one?
No, the old one.
The old Millennium.
The episode 7 one, yeah.
Man. Like if you max that thing out and you got both Zetas on Finn and Rey, and you got all the left side gear 12 pieces, that thing does the basic hits, I think, for like 90k sometimes. And every time it does retribution, it gains 50% turn meter. So it takes like a crap load of turns. It's ridiculous. So I bit the bullet in the very beginning, did that one. I don't regret it. I was regretting it in the beginning because I was like, everybody had the Thrawn jank crap big stupid team that everybody runs. I hate that team in the beginning because I was struggling with it. But I stuck with it, and now it's just like what T-Money said. It's like 30, 40-second battles. It's no problem. And just the rest of the pilots I'm doing right now, I'm finishing up like Phoenix, like gear 12, left side gear 12 pieces. And then tune-wise, I'm finishing up the Bounty Hunters. So I have like Dengar left to gear 12. And then I'm going to work on the Scoundrels. So I'm going to finish up the Vets and the Youngins, or start the Youngins when they become farmable. So that's my plan right now.
All right. All right. Let's go to the next question. Give me a second here. I'm scooping questions up. All right. Next question. We will go to T-Money. This is from Sort of the Jedi. Question. You guys were talking about there being a new territory battle table. I finished Hermit Yoda and Wampa, and I thought I could start farming gear. Should I hold on to my currency for new TB exclusive characters?
If you're not naughty, yes. I am naughty. I don't know. I'm a newer-ish player. I started playing in beginning of October 2017. Was it 16? Yeah, 16. And so I'm like a year behind day one player. And so there's still a lot of things that I'm catching up with regards to gear. So I do buy purple gear at the store, and people give me crap for it. But I'm like, but it's such a good deal. Right now, I'm trying desperately to save my currency there for two reasons. One is, there's some of these gear 12 pieces that are really important that I think will become more important soon in Arena, and then eventually, hopefully, whether it's 3 or 6 months from now, the pieces that right now that are so incredibly important that are getting that are raid exclusive for the Sith raid will go in there. So I'm trying to have some self-control, which is not something that I typically carry around with me on a regular basis. And then yes, of course, the character. I had that thought, when I was like, oh yeah, yay, Hermit Yoda, I've got him unlocked. I was like, should I save my currency or start like willy-nilly spending it on whatever I feel like in the store? Like, well, there's probably going to be another character coming out. But then I ended up willy-nilly spending it, and then there's Wampa. So, I think that you'll be pretty damn cool if you're able to unlock a character quickly. I think it's 40,000 currency to 145, something like that, maybe a little bit more. So you'll be the talk of the town if you do, but you have to have self-control. It's just not an option for me.
I'm the same way because I just finished Wampa recently, and I get a good little chunk of that guild event coin, and every time I look over at this little cue card that I got pinned up against my wall next to my desk, it's like, I see all this gear I still need for Traya, and every time I see it pop up in that store, I'm like, yes, I need that right now. Purple or gold, regardless. Especially the stun guns in there. Like you said, the stun guns are a great price in the guild event store for what you get.
All right. Next question to Sir Loki. This is from Nathaniel Miller. Question. I beat the Ewok Assault Battle Mythic tier for the first time yesterday. Anyone else underwhelmed by the rewards after the first win? 2 Omega seems low for the effort. I agree.
for the month of...
What do you think, Loki?
They're all like that, though, right? I mean, they're not great. Well, there's the Omega ones, right? So Oh no, not.
It's a pain in the ass to do. I mean, I've beaten it, but it's like.
Yeah, you need. I mean, it depends on the team, though, right? I mean, you can. What was the best team? Is it Thrawn lead with the troopers? I guess was like the best team, but then it takes forever because.
Yeah, I use EPT, my EP team, in there, and I can beat it. It's not a problem, but it's still a long battle. No matter who you use for that mythic tier for the Ewoks, it's a long battle. You know, I fracture low gray, and then I shock. Taunt or whatever his name is, and then I go after the elder. I didn't do it yesterday because I wasn't paying attention, so I just had it kind of on auto. Just had something on the screen while we were answering questions yesterday, and I wasn't really paying attention. But you know,
yeah, no, it's you know, it sucks because I just remember I used Thrawn and the troopers. So is it Thrawn, Veers, Stark, Snow Trooper, and then maybe Death Trooper? That's what I used. And,
so long though.
It's so long because once you get to that last battle will probably take you 10-15 minutes just because.
Yeah.
If you don't take Elder down, then he revives everybody and it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that if they do. I'm thinking, what is it? They have the bonus tiers for like Mother Talzin and Wicket, which are like Zetas, right? So I don't know if that's too much, but. I mean, it would be cool if they gave us 5 Omegas at the least. I mean, it's like, what, an Omega every 2 minutes, I guess, or something? But,
right.
I mean, but, then you can upgrade an ability, right, which is kind of cool. I mean, I can't really complain about free stuff either.
You have everything. You get a lot of free stuff. Yeah, Loki, you can.
But it is hard. I mean, even for me, right? I mean, I'm like end game. A lot of us are already like end game, and it's like, it still takes us 10 minutes. So I could imagine if you're a brand new player and you don't want to sit there for a half hour trying to figure this thing out, right? I mean, it's it's not dailies. It's not, but I get it. They want us to work for this stuff. So I get it.
Well, the lineup that I use real quick too, and it's a bunch of characters that everybody should have it, at this point, if you're doing the Mythic event, EP lead, Vader, Thrawn, Death Trooper, and BB-8. And I mean, like, it takes a little bit in between the middle, the 4th tier, and then the 8th tier again. Like Loki said, it takes time still, but Death Mark and BB-8 giving all the buffs, and Thrawn manipulating the turn meter on both sides, it makes it an easy win, and it just takes a couple extra minutes because you got to work for those 2 Omegas.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. All right. Next question from Nathaniel Morgan. Question was go to Xylo. How do you beat Emperor Palpatine lead Vader and Triumvirate? Should I try Magma Trooper Cheese?
No,
you should not.
Arena or territory?
I'm assuming this is Arena.
Yeah, because Magma.
Oh, both. I mean, it's the same situation.
I mean, obviously everybody knows about the Thrawn Magma Trooper teams on offense, for territory wars, but that's not, ideally probably what this is for. Magma Trooper and Thrawn on defense, that's not going to hold for you on defense at all, and it's going to take you forever just to get through those trade teams with that lineup anyway. So, I wouldn't say. I mean, I use the Rex, Mother Talzin, Wampa, GK, Thrawn. I mean, I can climb through anything on that on offense, and it holds fairly well on defense. It keeps me in the top 20, and at least gets me back into the top 10, top 5 if I want to get there. And there's I really like the plague mechanics against the Triumvirate. You've seen those combinations. I've seen a few other random ones, like with the Asajj lead, Mother Talzin, Zombie, and then people playing with the new Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda lineup with that one right there. Or it's just the plague mechanic in general is a really good cripple effect against the Triumvirate, and it all just depends on what you have in your roster and what you're comfortable running with on offense and defense in Arena. Like I have the EP Zeta, I have Sion, and I have everybody up to gear 12 other than Sion, who's still 6 stars. And it's not the fact that I don't like using it, it's just it's so RNG based, and like T Money's said before, when you run a Rex lead in Arena, it's like you have more control of the match, and if Thrawn's just as fast as Rex is, and you're manipulating the turn meter, you already have a great advantage on offense and defense, and Plague and Wampa is just a great combination of its own too. So there's a fun team that I like running with anyways.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Let's see here. We go back to Remon. Remon, you still there, buddy?
I'm here, brother.
All right. This is from Fat Tony 99. Question. I use Scimitar as my 4th reinforcement for fleet. My other 3 reinforcements are fully maxed out abilities already. Should I upgrade Scimitar's reinforcement or start working light side ships like Phantom 2? I take rank 1 in fleet every day and only ever have to use 1 to 2 of my reinforcements to win.
Well, if it ain't, the way I look at it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, I mean, like you're taking, high rank every day and you're doing fine with what you're working with right now. I mean, it doesn't hurt to develop some new things and try them out, as long as everything else that's working already for you is maxed out. So, I mean, I would say that you're not doing, he said the Scimitar is this reinforcement, right? I think the Scimitar is a great reinforcement. It's probably one of the better reinforcements in the game, even since, I mean, it was a great reinforcement before the rework, and it is now. But ships like the Phantom 2 and the Ghost are also now pretty good with their reinforcements. I wasn't really a huge fan of those ships before the rework, but as reinforcement ships, they're actually not bad. Again, I still think that the Scimitar is better, so I would continue to finish that up and continue to be successful like you are right now. In the meantime, once that's done, then I would try out some different and working on the Phantom 2 and any other ships that you want to get done. But if he's asking, like, should I finish up the Scimitar, I'd say yes.
All right. Next question to T Money G, and this is from Nathaniel Morgan. Question: should I pause my prestige farming for HK? I finished top 3 in fleet.
Yes.
Get that HK.
I did him a while back, just because I hang out with you, Lots Ranger, and I was like, I better just have that done and ready and ticked off. I like to get within shooting range of a character, so that if it's like, oh gosh, we need this character, as they do tend to do, in 10 days or a week or something like that, that it's not completely unreasonable. What you can also do is just save your currency so that you can go ahead and get it. Worst case scenario, you have a ton of currency saved up. You can, and I do this, you can refresh the shop if you're completely screwed and you're, I don't know, a couple dozen away or something like that, and the event's coming. But when you do have an event, you have 10 days lead time, and then you have the event usually go on for another week or 10 days or longer, and so you can catch up during that time. But yeah, definitely I would be ready for anything that's coming. I'm getting my what is they called? A rubber and those guys.
Yes.
Pardon me?
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, that's funny.
Getting my test skins all up, and Galactic War. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get them within shooting range so that, and for me that's like 80 shards. So I'll just get them within 80 shards, and then I'll be like, okay, enough. I can panic farm that in a short period of time, and then off we go. I don't do that for Cantina tunes. But for the shop tunes, yeah, I just got burned by Stormtrooper Han, not having him, and that was it. You can't really panic farm an arena a tune out of the squad store, right? Out of the arena store, you have like a set.
Wait, you don't have Stormtrooper Han?
I didn't when the first CLS event came out. Yeah, so I had to panic. I had to panic farm him. Yeah, I still don't have him geared. I'd love to have him geared, but I just get all fussy when I have to gear tanks because they're so resource intensive. I'm like, I could gear 2 of these and one of that. Yeah, but I need more tanks, so he's on the list.
Okay. Let's see. Next question is from Mateus Calvacanti. Question is we'll go to Sir Loki on this. I just left my guild. It's like breaking up with a loved girlfriend, but I need to find one who pleases all my desires. How can I ease my pain? Jesus. What can you say about the heartbroken Mateus Cavalcante there, Sir Loki? You're a pimp. How would you handle this, Sir Loki?
Sir Loki had to dip out.
Sir Loki has failed me for the last time. Alright, Stoner Jedi.
Oh, I mean, I guess when you're looking for a next tier level guild, especially like if you're looking for more benefit.
Yeah, you just went through this, didn't you, before you joined MC?
Yeah, because I mean, like, I loved playing with the people that I played with before, and I still talk to a lot of people from my past guild, and it's not about it's not just about getting more benefit. It's also about finding where you can benefit the next guild you're joining and what you bring to the table and what they're looking for. You have to, like, are your troopers ready? Are your, Hoth characters ready for light side TB to get Rolo shards if you're at that, tier of level of gameplay, or what you can bring to the table for the Sith raid, and what you can do for territory wars on offense and defense depending on the guild you join, how hard they play territory wars, and there's a lot of different aspects, and you have to put yourself out there, and you also, depending on what kind of guild you're trying to join, you have to have your account registered to SWGOH.gg. If you want people to be able to look at your roster and evaluate what you can bring for their guild, and if you're especially trying to join a top tier guild like that's doing like Heroic Sith Raid, for example, you're definitely going to need to do that, and just be mindful of what you have in your roster, and what you have to gear and have ready in your roster as opposed to what you want to gear and do in your roster. You have to pay your dues and get certain characters and certain pieces in the game to get you that advantage of end game material. So
all right. Next question, we'll go back to the top to Remon. This is from Nathaniel Miller. Question: anyone else think Dispels cleanses should have to go through potency tenacity checks? Ducks.
He's ducking because he doesn't want us to throw things at him for suggesting such things. To clarify, I had to read that a couple times. I was like, oh.
What do you think, Remon? And Remon's not there. T-Money, what do you think, T-Money?
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Okay, good.
I have my mic muted. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So what was the question?
Anyone else think Dispel cleanses should have to go through potency tenacity checks? And then he ducked.
Dispel cleanses should have to go through potency tenacity checks?
Yep.
No.
Go ahead.
No, I think that if it says it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, it depends. The way this game works is everything's all based upon the way they word things, right? So I mean, like for some abilities, it includes themselves as an ability, based upon the wording, like let's say if you're trying to count speed, Jawa Engineer counts himself, and I'm circling around to where this is actually relevant to the conversation that we're having right now. But what I'm saying is that basically unless it says that there's, I mean, we've all these abilities in the game, like cleansing, like let's say for example, Rex's cleanse has always been 100% since the beginning. So if they were going to automatically, or if they were going to ever start instituting, let's say, a chance that it didn't work, is that what you're talking about? Like a cleanse, like Rex's cleanse?
Well, it just says anyone else think Dispel's cleanser should have to go through potency tenacity checks. So
no.
I
think that's if you're cleansing and that's a 100% unavoidable, unresistible, right. I mean, unless they say like unless they had started in the game saying like this cleanse is unresistible, or this cleanse. If they had worded it that way in the beginning, then I'd say yeah, but they can't all of a sudden just start doing that now. I mean, that would kind of change the way a lot of things work. Then I mean, like when would I mean there'd be other mechanics you have to look at like that too, and say like where do you draw the line? I think that it's fine the way it is.
All right. Next question for Team Money. Question from Captain Blackbeard. Another pirate like you, Team Money. Question: what node are y'all farming from the ship PvE table?
I'm not as disciplined in my game as I usually am, so I'm kind of willy-nilly. I am farming the Sion node for sure, and then there's the HoloLens, the MK10 HoloLens that's in, what is it, 5.1? Hard node 5.1, and that's been previously unfarmable. Those ones, I love to have 50 of those on file because when a character, like, not a lot of characters need them. When they do, they're so hard to get. They're just the hardest ones to get. I think that's the hardest thing to farm in the game. Just they never drop for me, and so I've been kind of chipping away at that when I can. But it's a little bit willy-nilly right now. I just go in. What do I need? I need like I'm 5 pieces short of gear X, and then I'll just go and farm it for wherever it is. If I don't have any regular currency and I do see it's in ships, I'll I'll go sieve a whole bunch, and I know that it's naughty, but I do it anyway.
All right. Next question will go to Xylo. This is from Danilo Papayas. Question: in my arena team, I've Zeted Emperor Palpatine lead, Darth Nihilus, and Sion's unique. Should I improve it by giving non-lead Zetas to Vader and Emperor Palpatine, or give the Zeta to Ventress unique, lead a Zeta, or wait and just save? So it's basically, should he continue working on his PvP team, adding Zetas, do Ventress unique, he already has a leader, or just wait and save? Be a hoarder.
I mean, there's a lot of follow-up question for that too, or where you at on the Sith raid, and I mean, where you at with your Night Sisters in general. Like, do you have Talzin and Zombie at 7 stars to use them in the Sith raid? To make. I mean, I wouldn't say Asajj's unique is a bad idea, because I'm personally about to do it myself after Traya, and I have Mother Talzin unique, I have Asajj's lead, and I have Zombie at 7 stars, so I can maximize the potential for the damage output in Phase 4 where I'm at right now, anyways. And progression on your arena team is always number one. If you're placing really well and you're getting a good daily crystal income from your arena shard, then investing those extra Zetas in Vader and Palpatine would be nice, but it's also probably a better idea right now for you as an individual to try and spread your roster a little more, and start with doing Asajj's leader or a unique, and then possibly if you're leading into doing heroic Sith, start accumulating and sitting on 20 Zeta materials for Traya when you unlock her, and then try and base your next Zeta after Asajj. Get a good general idea of how many Zetas you want to do, or kind of make a general plan for what next few Zetas you want to do in between saving up some Zetas for Traya. Like me personally, I take a little cue card and post it up with my paperwork and everything like that next to my desk, and put down the next 5 Zetas that I want to do and check those off, and then make another card before I check that one off, so that way I can keep focused on progression and what I want to do with my Zetas, because even though I get as many Zetas as I possibly can, and it still takes at least a good 2 weeks to get Zetas. You know, it's a good idea. It's never a bad idea to have them in your pocket.
All right. Thank you, WarGold128. He just donated $20 Canadian money. He said free coffees. I don't know how much free coffees you can get, T-Money A, with Canadian money.
I don't know what to say. Whenever you tease me about Canadian money, I'm like, oh, but he's right.
Well, you know.
Thank you, Wargoal. That's
very nice of you. We appreciate it. Yes, we do. Speaking of Canadian crap, T-Money, you got that care package you did for the suicide prevention charity.
I do, yeah.
Ketchup chips and maple syrup, and what else was in that goodie bag?
Well, so you guys in the States have Smarties, and those are those little, like, tiny little sour candies. We call those rockets. Smarties in Canada are kind of like a little M&M. And they're all different colors and very cute. And yeah, if you ask any Canadian, they'll know. They'll say, like, what's a Smartie? And they'll be like, it's like a little chocolate drop thing. So sending them some Smarties, and it's Darth Bob from who I co-host the League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders with. So I'm sending it to him. So I'm putting in some Smarties, a chocolate bar called Coffee Crisp, ketchup chips, something called all dressed chips, which is like all of the flavors in one that you guys don't have down there. That's people like love them here. They're not my favorite thing. I love ketchup chips. And then I haven't got it yet for him, but I'm gonna get he's got a couple of kiddos, so I'm gonna get them some Canada shirts, and then I have a little custom thing that I'm giving to Darth Bob because
it's Bob.
He's a party animal.
All right. Next question. This is from King Felix. His question is for the panel. What should I name my new male German Shepherd pup? I say Schlitz von Klaus.
Can I say my favorite dog name is DOG?
No, I saw that. That's wrong, T-Money.
It's like my favorite dog name ever.
It's a male German Shepherd. So what should we? I mean, I went with Schlitz von Klaus. Anybody else have a name for King Felix?
DOG.
No!
It's awesome.
No, it's not.
It's so good.
That's so unimaginative.
Like, DOG. Oh, how do you spell that?
DOG.
D-O-G.
Well, I like to name my dogs after, like, crazy dorky stuff, because one of my pits is named Thanos, and then my other one is Abraham Glenn, my last name, because I like The Walking Dead and the comic books and stuff like that, and the TV show when they killed off both the characters in the same episode, I was like heartbroken at the time, and we had just gotten the dog, and I was like, oh, well, let's name him this, and that happened. So I mean, I like to name it little stuff that like I like it in my life too. You know what I mean? Like who would name their dog Thanos? You know what I mean? Like. He's a big old black pit bull. He's like a little over 100 pounds, but he's the sweetest dog in the world, man. And
100 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a big pit bull. He must be like super fat. Is he super fat?
Yeah, he's my big boy, man. He's a chubby boy. And then the little one, Abraham, he's a pit lab, but he's like about the same weight, and he's a year younger than him too. He's a lot taller though. So he's got that lab goofy, stumbles into everything, big floppy ears. But they're funny. I love my dogs. I'm a big dog person.
Any other names?
Is asking someone to yell Voltron right now.
Oh, I forgot about Voltron. Yes. What the hell is the name for a dog?
Voltron. Yes, that would be so awesome, Felix. That would be so funny.
You could repaint him like the color of the Black Lion, black and white. It'd be fantastic. Foreign blazing sword, your ass is grass.
Dana says her Mastiff was 220 pounds and not bad.
Man.
Oh my god! I had like a golden
That's a man.
Border Collie cross that was when he was like really fit. He was 75 pounds, and he would like if he went on his hind legs, he would be nose to nose with me easily. So. That's a big dog.
That's how my pit lab is. He's tall, man.
Can I just say though that my favorite dog names and animal names are just when someone names a dog like a really human name, like Fred or like
Jeffrey.
James or Jeffrey. Yeah, Jeffrey's an awesome one.
All right. What else? 73 question. I forgot where we're at. Let's go to Remod. Question. Anyone else think that they Anyone else think they purposefully... He didn't even spell this right. Purposefully make speed primary arrows have a 0.0001% drop rate in mythic events? Seems like I always get everything but those. I don't know. I've gotten them. I guess it's just the RNG gods are against you. What else, 73? I don't know about your experience. Well, Rima's not even here, is he? Damn it. What do you guys think? Drop rates on arrows and mods in general. It's been hit and miss for me.
I mean, for me personally, everybody has like a method to their own madness, as we all like to say. When I farm, hard nodes, Cantina, mods in general, I find that the RNG, the more you keep pushing it, as opposed to just spending all your energy in one currency. I like to do the hard nodes and the mods. The mods and Cantina 2 at a time, and then when I'm doing my hard nodes, I like to do them 1 at a time, because you only get X amount of attempts. And like, say for example, I've been on my alt, I've been doing all my energy attempts at once, and like, say for example, I'm working on Phoenix and I'm farming Sabine. You get 5 attempts in a day, and it's an alt account, so you're not getting a big crystal income, and I don't want to spend an extra 50 crystals to refresh the node. So I do it once a day, do the 5 attempts, and for the last 2 days now I haven't even gotten 1 shard. But like when I do my hard nodes, and I'm doing it on my main account, like Sion, for example, he's got the new node on ships PvE. I've taken 100 crystals out of my mod farming and invested that into refreshing both hard nodes for Sion. So I'm doing 20 attempts on Sion every day, and not only is he at 6 stars as of yesterday, but he's already at 7 out of 100. So I do those 1 at a time on my main account, and I find the RNG to drop way better on the hard nodes 1 at a time, and the mods again 2 at a time, because you're rolling the RNG more and more. So there will be some moments where you're only getting gray and green mods, and then there will be some moments where you get a really good purple or gold mod, and it has speed secondary. You're just like, yes, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I'm not sitting on any extra energy when I'm coming back onto my account. My energy's not fully loaded, so my energy is always consistently refreshing. It's just how I do it. I don't know how anyone else farms their mods or their hard nodes. If anyone else wanted to chime in on that.
Too many. If you can be pulled away from chat talking about dogs.
So yes, hard nodes. Weren't we talking about farming mods?
Yes.
Well, yeah, just like farming in general, I guess. Like mod, Cantina, and hard nodes. The question is, yeah, mods though.
Yeah, well, my hard nodes. I have started kind of giving into this like farming more hard nodes thing, and I do have 4 going on right now. I'm trying that. I have like a little grumbly groan when I do it.
Yeah.
But I do see it's nice. It's nice to kind of just sneak up there with the character shards. I do want to eventually have Visas, for instance, and I'm probably never going to make her a primary farm, so I'm just kind of doing her on the side. So, and then with regards to mods, it's God, the drop rates are so low in the mod farming area. What the frick is it called? Like the mod challenges. It's sad. but I do still farm in there. I was very excited. I rolled and got a protection triangle with speed secondary just now when we're on the show. I was like, yes, and then it rolled to 9. So
9.
Yeah, I got a 13 protection arrow yesterday. Actually, now that you mentioned that, I got one protection with plus 13 speed yesterday, and it's always nice to get those random ones because like Grande said, he's hunting for those on the regular, and those are so hard to come by with good speed secondary and protection arrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough, but it's like if you get if you're getting top in arena and the crystals are coming in, you really have to kind of figure out what's your priority in your roster. And for me, I want to have enough mods to mod my territory teams really well so that I can feel confident on offense, and that means having good mods because you want to be placing your best mods on defense for sure.
Right, of course.
So.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so that means having like a really deep roster with regards to mods. So I still have a ways to go. I think I have about 110 mods with 10 or more secondary speed on them now. Nice. But if you divide, that's only about 20 tunes, right? If you divide that by 5, because you're not counting the speed arrows, that's that's 10 or more speed on excuse me, on 100 mods, which is about 20 characters. So that's still only about 4 teams. That's so sad. Really. Damn.
Oh, they come. It's an accumulation thing, and you want to get the right mods, and you don't want to invest in the ones that you're not going to use long term either. And that also comes into another farming method that we always talk about on the lunch streams and stuff too. Like when you're at that point where you're still wanting to farm certain characters out of Cantina, and you don't want to lose your progression on mods. You pick the 4 or 5 days out of the week that you're going to farm characters, and then the other 2 or 3 days, you farm mods on the weekends or something like that, or whatever 2 or 3 days are more convenient for you, or you play more. And then that way you don't lose track of both. And like me personally, I focused on, stars long term, and, I'm all done with Cantina, even with Spirit and Marauder, and, I'm hoping that Boss will come into Cantina too sometime soon, and he's not going to get stuck on a hard node because, I only have so many hard nodes left to farm too now, and it's just waiting to see and creating that rhythm that you like to be in, and creating a method that you feel comfortable with and farming on all aspects, I guess.
All right. Let's get to, I think we have one more question. Revenator question. Anyone else find it interesting that Sion is the first new character in over a year to receive 2 nodes to farm from, especially while they're trying to reduce duplicate hard node characters? Well, they introduced ship PvE, and I think Sion's a very important character. I mean, I don't know. Anything that's about that question sticks out to you guys?
I mean, thank God they did that. Thank God they did
that. Yeah, God, Jesus.
For sure.
Go ahead, Riemann.
I'm excited. Listen, I'm not totally done with him yet. I'm 6-star, and I can't get him to 7-star fast enough. So, I mean, creating any alternative way for me to farm him from the hard nodes, especially since they dropped the 8 pulls that we were able to get back down to 5 again. I think that's a tremendous addition. I mean, and I think that the main reason that Sion is there is because of his importance, especially right now as everybody's chasing Treya. Sion's going to be a key component to that squad. So I think that they kind of threw us a bone with that one.
Yeah, like that one was probably the most gracious one they've given us since like Crew and the Slicer or Silencer or whatever you guys want to call it. We needed it.
Darth Hideous sent me a picture of his dog.
Oh Christ.
No, I mean, like, I get the fact that they're trying to reduce the hard nodes to introduce more character hard nodes, but also there's been so many new hard nodes released. It's like even endgame players are having a hard time keeping up with hard nodes and how many hard nodes you want to farm, and it's a lot to buy into. So, I mean, the fact that he's such a rare and great character, like Riemann was saying. You need him for the Triumvirate, and it's already such an effort to not only farm Nihilus but to be on a guild that's farming Treya, and they needed to make him more accessible because he's not only, in my opinion, the best tank in the game, but he's got such a unique kit, and he's such a plug-and-play character that if you're at that point in the game where you can farm him from not only the hard nodes but ships PvE, then people should have an opportunity to be able to go out on him or all out on him.
All right. Next question from our homie True Bree. Well, I'll be damned. Question: I'm running Tarkin lead in ships with first 3 ships: TIE Silencer, First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter, and First Order TIE. My 3 backups are Kylo's flagship with Slave One and Vader's TIE. I don't have Thrawn's ship. Any recommendations for my ship team changes? He's finishing in the high 100s.
Recommend getting a tank in that starting lineup.
Yeah, that's the thing that stood out to me immediately. I would drop. Boy, oh boy.
Did he say he's running Kylo's command shuttle in the starting lineup?
No, that's a reinforcement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need a tank in there.
I like that team. I think it's one of the best teams. Unfortunately, the TIE Slicer, the TIE Slicer on defense, it is terrible on defense. It starts off with its special, right? Mm-hmm. Completely pointless. It's not going to have advantage. It's not going to hit hard at all. So you kind of have to switch that team out on defense, in my opinion, because you're gonna drop. When I see the TIE Silencer, I'm like, all right, let's go, and it's useless until it uses up its special, and then it starts using its basic, and it's very frustrating. So I would pull that out.
Yeah, I put Biggs in for Slicer and put him on as a reinforcement. I would not. You need a Biggs in there. I mean, if you want to keep First Order TIE and First Order Special Forces, fine. But you need something in there to take the damage, or you're just letting people just pick you apart. That's why you're dropping and you can't climb. Boy, oh boy. Put a tank in. Come on, put a tank in there. What are you doing?
I mean, that it is a very difficult team. I think that team is much harder than the Thrawn, Vader, TIE Fighter pilot Biggs combination. Like, I see that and I'm just like, hooray! But that's kind of how Geo's works. Like when Biggs has his taunt, Geo Spy hits like so hard, and so you're killing Biggs with one shot. Right? So it's like, not with just that ship, like he calls assists, but it's like he's gone. And so the First Order ship is much more difficult. But yeah, it's unfortunate that ship doesn't do well on defense. You could try changing it out for the shuttle.
I mean, you could run Biggs, Slicer, and you're going to need like I've seen First Order TIE Fighter pilot in there. That's a good one, but you got to have Biggs in some kind of combination in there. Unless you're doing Geos, you've got to have a Biggs in there. I mean, it's just, you're just asking for a beating,
and Sun Fact. Things are Sun Fact. That's what it's all about.
Right, and especially if you're running Tarkin, having a couple TIE fighters in there with Biggs, you're going to have advantages with that. So it's just, they're going to hit harder, they're going to do more, it'll help you out in the long run, but not having them in there. You're just saying, please hit me and let me drop.
And because he's running Tarkin too, if you pulling Sunfac off the bench is so fun, because anytime that Sunfac takes a turn out of order, like if he's assisting or has retribution, taking a turn where he's not supposed to take a turn, he'll land target lock, and I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. So that's hella fun. So you can think about what ships, with regards to Retribution are going to be great coming off the bench too.
Right. I think that's all the questions we have for today. A little bit shorter than normal Jedi Academy, but we got to everything. We got to a bunch of questions. Actually, we went through a lot of questions. We just did it fast. Now we're going to let everybody pimp their stuff. Riemann, tell the good folks where they can find you, my friend.
Well, you can find me here on Jedi Academy on Saturdays at 10 o'clock. Which is the most important, of course. But besides that, I also have a YouTube channel, and I make content on Star Wars Galaxy. Possibly going to be getting into some other games too, but definitely also starting to do some movie reviews as well. So if you like to hear a bunch of jibber jabber and you care about my opinions, you can come check that out. I also am on Twitter at Ramon Azab or at Ramon_Zob, and I will be back next week.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
That's right. Speaking of people who love jibber jabber, T Money, where can folks check you out at?
Well, first, can I say, Riemann, I really, really want to see you do a Power Rangers live stream.
Go
so
Power
much.
Rangers.
So much. Good old Maurice was like, oh, he's like talking about Power Rangers, and I was like right there. I was like, what? Come on, where is it? I'm so excited about that. So I would like to put in a request for that. I will be there with belt on.
Will you come join me as a guest? Like, will you come sit there and
I will download the game and yeah, absolutely, we can do.
Don't listen to that. Hold on. Last time I downloaded a game for T Money, that was a disaster.
No, you downloaded it for me. I didn't download something for you.
You asked me to. You knucklehead.
Lady. So Saturday mornings, Jedi Academy, Saturday nights, RSG Mature Channel, and Ranger. I have a little gift for us. We're always struggling to find Mad Libs, and I was in chapters and found a huge book of like 150 Mad Libs, so we will never we will never be lacking in Mad Libs again. I have them all there. Yeah, so. And then I am also on part of 2 channels that I partner with the other players for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders, which is an 18 and over stream on Thursday nights at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we goof off a whole bunch, and then we actually have some really serious and in-depth, super nerdy game talk. So if you can deal with the 18 and over stuff, then it's a really great stream. If you can't, then you just stay away. Sorry. And then Operation Metaverse, which is a new channel. So I should give a shout out to my co-hosts, Grand Admiral Teals and Darth Bob and good old Maurice for the League of Extraordinary Nerf Herders. And then the Operation Metaverse is good old Maurice and myself. And we have, it's just like a little, we started 2 months ago and it's exploding. We've got over 2,000 subs, and our Night Sister video it's going to hit 100,000, I think, in maybe a month or so. We're encroaching in on 80,000 views for that one, and we've got a few more, over 10,000 views so far. Some more coming out this week, so yeah, it's very exciting. And we're starting to do MSF stuff very, very soon.
Oh, nobody cares about that. Sorry. All right.
Oh, no.
Thank you, T Money. Stoner Jedi.
Yeah, come check me out. Google Takedown Games. I'm the first thing that pops up ever since I changed the name to, and all my Google searches from Xylo Takedown, I guess, kind of carried over with that too.
Right.
It's the top tab too, so Takedown Games, Google on YouTube, and come check me out, man. Got a lot of Galaxy Heroes content, a little extra stuff on there too. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm always on with the RSG crew. Ranger, always appreciate you having me on the shows too, brother.
That's all right, because I'm amazing. So if you're watching this is the RSG channel, Reality Skewed Gamers. We do this every Saturday as much as we can. Once in a while we don't, but that's because of holidays, or we have like this We're doing a special stream. But for the most part, every Saturday we're here from 10 to about 12 p.m. Sometimes we go a little bit over. Sometimes we finish a little earlier like we are today. We also have the Mature channel, which will be on RSG Mature, not this channel, RSG Mature. So if you want to come join us, you're more than welcome. VIPs are more than welcome to hang out with us in Skype as we're streaming. That's one of the things we offer our VIPs. Also tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be continuing our D&D campaign. So check that out. If you're down for D&D, we will have that going on. And then Monday through Friday, we do our lunch stream from 12 to 1, where we hang out with you good folks, have fun, do roster reviews, and answer as many questions as we can get to. And then, of course, every Wednesday, the longest running live Q&A or just Star Wars Galaxy Heroes stream in the business is still going on every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to whenever we get done. Some weeks it's 3 hours, sometimes it's 2.5 hours, it doesn't matter. We go until we break down all the latest and greatest news and notes of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and tell you what it all means, answer your questions, have fun. Grande messes up everybody's name. We have to do more mod reviews. It's ridiculous. But make sure, not just for us guys, but for these other channels, you give them the thumbs up. Subscribe to their channels, not just ours, but theirs as well, because they take the time out of their busy schedules to be here to answer your questions, to help you out as a community. It's a good way of showing someone that you appreciate everything that they're doing in return. So, with that being said, thank everybody for being on. I want to thank my panel for being here. Thank you guys for being here as well. Thank you everybody in the chat for being here. We really appreciate all your support. Check us out tonight for the RSG Mature channel, and check us out tomorrow for the D&D stuff. So everyone have a great rest of your day, and we will holler at you later. Peace.